First contact in the frost, the wind howled across the frozen tundra as Dr. Nora Everett trudged through knee-deep snow. The Aurora Research Station's proximity alarms had awakened her at 3 a.m. With readings that defied explanation, massive electromagnetic disturbances 5 kilometers north of base. Control, this is Everett. I'm approaching the anomaly site, she said into her CUM unit, her breath fogging in the bitter cold. Copy, Doctor. Satellite imagery shows ... something. We can't make sense of it, replied Director Hammond's voice. Nora crested a ridge and froze. Below her, half buried in snow, lay an iridescent vessel, unlike anything human engineering could produce. Its hull shimmered with colors that shouldn't exist in Arctic darkness. Hammond, we have first contact, she whispered. I'm going to investigate. Negative, Doctor. Wait for the security team. Nora ignored him. As the senior xenobiologist at humanity's northernmost research facility, this was precisely what she had trained for. She approached cautiously, noting the vessel's organic curves and the strange flowing script etched into its surface. A section of the hull had ruptured, and within the gash, something moved. Nora's scientific caution warred with her medical training. Someone was alive in there. She squeezed through the opening, her headlamp illuminating an interior that seemed to pulse with faint bioluminescence. A figure lay slumped over what appeared to be a control console. Humanoid, but definitely not human tall, and slender with skin that shimmered with a faint blue luminescence, now fading. Nora checked for vital signs, finding a pulse point at the neck weak. Erratic. The being wasn't breathing. Don't you dare die on me, she muttered, dragging the alien from the wreckage into the open air. She began chest compressions, hoping the internal anatomy was similar enough for CPR to work. The alien's chest felt oddly warm beneath her hands, and with each compression, a strange tingling sensation ran up Nora's arms. After 2 rounds of compressions, she tilted the alien's head back, noting the elegantly pointed ears and intricate, circuit-like patterns beneath the skin and delivered to rescue breaths. On the second breath, the alien's body suddenly illuminated with brilliant blue light. Nora felt a jolt, like static electricity, surge through her, and the alien gasped, eyes flying open. Those eyes, vertical pupils and irises the color of molten gold, locked onto hers with shocking intelligence. To you? Touched me? The alien rasped in perfect English. How did you know? Before Nora could answer, the sound of approaching snowmobiles cut through the wind. My team is coming, she explained, helping the alien sit up. We can help you. I am Commander Tavik, diplomatic envoy of the Solarian Alliance, the alien said, voice strengthening. You have initiated bioresonant contact with a council species. This is ... unprecedented. I'm Dr. Nora Everett. I just performed CPR-IT's standard human emergency care. Tavik's expression showed confusion. There is nothing standard about what you've done. The council believes humans lack the neural capacity for resonance. The snowmobiles arrived, security personnel surrounding them with raised weapons. Stand down, Nora ordered. This is a diplomatic situation. As the team helped Tavik onto a transport sled, he gripped Nora's wrist. They cannot know what happened. The council monitors all first contacts. Your touch shit should not have worked. My people die without proper medical equipment. Why did it work then? Nora whispered. Tavik's golden eyes seemed to peer into her soul. That is what troubles me, Dr. Everett. By all we know of your species, it shouldn't have. Yet here I am alive because of you, and the council will want to know why. Resonant Recovery Aurora Research Station's medical bay wasn't designed for extraterrestrial patients. Commander Tavik lay on an examination bed, his vital signs displayed on monitors she'd reconfigured based on the alien's guidance. Your respiratory system is stabilizing, Nora said, studying the readings. Though I'm still not sure how my intervention helped. Tavik's golden eyes followed her as she moved around the lab. The Solarian physiology operates on bioelectric principles. When your hands made contact with my chest, you generated a resonance frequency that jump-started my neural network. That's impossible, Nora argued. Humans don't emit significant bioelectric fields. According to council records, they don't, Tavik agreed. his voice thoughtful. Yet here we are. Director Hammond entered, his face grave. Doctor, we have a situation. Satellite communications detected a transmission from the crash site, some kind of automated distress beacon. We're about to have company. Tavik attempted to sit up. The council will send investigators. This first contact wasn't sanctioned. You need to rest, Nora insisted, gently pressing him back. As her palm touched his shoulder, a visible wave of blue light rippled beneath his skin. Hammond's eyes widened. What was that? Nothing, Nora, and Tavik said simultaneously. After Hammond left, Tavik whispered, You must understand my people's neural patterns are considered sacred. Physical touch is reserved for family units and medical specialists with proper training. I'm sorry if I violated a cultural taboo, Nora replied. I was just trying to save your life. That's precisely what concerns me. You shouldn't have been able to. Tavik hesitated. May I? May I see your hands? Nora extended them. Tavik's long, elegant fingers traced her palms with scientific curiosity. Where their skin met, faint luminescence bloomed. Extraordinary, he murmured. Your bioelectric signature matches a harmonic of our central nervous system. What does that mean? Nora asked. It means the Council's assessment of human capabilities is deeply flawed or deliberately falsified. Over the next 3 days, Nora helped Tavik recover, documenting every interaction. Each time she checked his vitals, the resonance between them grew stronger. By the 4th day, she could sense his presence before entering the room, faint buzzing at the base of her skull. On the 5th morning, alarms blared throughout the station. Hammond burst into the medical bay. We have an incoming spacecraft, much larger than the commander's vessel. Tavik's expression darkened. Ambassador Venix, the Council's most thorough investigator. Is that bad? Nora asked. Venix believes in maintaining the established order of species classification. Humans are currently categorized as a level 3 civilization, technically advanced, but neurologically primitive. And what we've discovered challenges that, Nora finished. Tavik nodded. What's happening between us could elevate humanity's status significantly, and some council factions would rather keep Earth isolated. Station shuddered as the alien vessel landed nearby. What do we do? Nora whispered. Tavik reached for her hand, their fingers intertwining as blue light pulsed between them. We present the truth, together. But be careful. Mix is politically cunning. And if the rumors are true, she's implicated in suppressing evidence about other species that displayed unexpected abilities, like humans. Precisely, Tavik said. And she won't be pleased to find proof of her error recovering in your medical bay. Neural Nexus Ambassador Venix swept into Aurora Research Station like a storm in physical form, tall and imposing, with silver-gray skin that seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it. She moved with the confidence of absolute authority. 2 silent guards flanked her, their expressions hidden behind mirrored visors. Commander Tavik, she said, her voice melodic yet cold. The Council was most concerned when your diplomatic vessel disappeared from our tracking systems.
Oh.
Nora stood beside Tavik's bed, conscious of the slight distance they now maintained between them. Ambassador Tavik acknowledged with a respectful nod. My ship encountered a solar flare that damaged critical systems. I would have perished if not for Dr. Everett's intervention. Venix's gaze shifted to Nora, assessing her with unnerving intensity. Conventional human medical procedures, I assume? Yes, Nora answered carefully. Basic emergency response. Fascinating, Venix murmured, circling the bed. Our records indicate Solarian neural systems require specialized equipment for resuscitation. Emin cleared his throat. Perhaps we should discuss arrangements for Commander Tavik's return journey in due time, Venix interrupted. First, I require complete medical records of the Commander's treatment. Council protocols regarding first contact scenarios are quite specific. After Venix departed with Hammond to inspect the crash site, Nora locked the medical bay doors. She suspects something, she whispered. Tavik nodded. Venix represents a powerful faction that is long maintained. Humans possess no significant psychic or bioelectric capabilities. Your success in reviving me threatens that narrative. Nora sat beside him on the bed. Why would they lie about us? Politics, Tavik said simply. Species with neural resonance capabilities are granted. Level 5 classification, full council membership, and access to advanced technologies. Their hands found each other instinctively. The connection between them had deepened, no longer just light and sensation, but emotions too. Nora felt his concern, his admiration, something more intimate developing. There's a test we could perform, Tavik suggested. A neural mapping that would document our resonance conclusively. The procedure was simple but profound. Sensors attached to both their temples recorded neural patterns as they maintained physical contact. On the monitor, their brainwaves synchronized in impossible harmony. This is unprecedented, Tavik whispered, watching their neural signatures dance together. Not just compatibility enhancement. Your patterns strengthen mine. Adora felt it. To a clarity of thought, a deepening awareness of herself and him simultaneously. When their eyes met, the connection intensified. His hand cupped her cheek, and the blue light between them pulsed with newfound intensity. Their first kiss was like completing a circuit, energy flowing through them both, minds touching as intimately as their bodies. This changes everything, Nora whispered against his lips. The medical bay doors slid open. Venix stood in the entrance, her silver eyes widening at the scene before Hertha humans and Solarians in intimate contact. Neural mapping equipment documenting the impossible resonance between them. This is a serious violation of Council Directive, Venix said, her voice dangerously soft. Tavik replied, standing protectively beside Nora. This is evidence that Council directives are based on falsehoods. Humans possess neural capabilities your faction has deliberately concealed. Venix's composure slipped momentarily, confirming Tavik's accusation. You have no idea what you're interfering with, Commander. Centuries of carefully maintained galactic order. Or centuries of suppression, Nora countered, downloading the neural mapping data to a secure drive. And we have proof now. Venix's hand moved to a device at her waist. Then I must insist you both accompany me to Council headquarters. This matter requires thorough investigation. Diplomatic dangers, the Council vessel's detention chamber hummed with energy fields that kept Nora and Tavik separated by an invisible barrier. They could see and hear each other, but their resonant connection had been mudita, deliberate precaution ordered by Ambassador Venix. The full Council Assembly will review your case in 12 hours, Venix informed them coldly. Until then, you will remain isolated to prevent further contamination. After she left, Tavik pressed his palm against the barrier. Are you all right? Nora mirrored his gesture. I'm fine. More worried about what happens at this assembly? The council is divided into factions, Tavik explained. Progressive members who favor species integration, traditionalists who maintain strict hierarchical classifications. Venix serves High Chancellor Dravik, leader of the traditionalists, and they've been hiding humanity's true capabilities. Tavik nodded. Likely for strategic reasons. A species with your neural potential could eventually challenge established power structures. Guards escorted them to the Grand Chamber, a vast amphitheater where delegates from hundreds of worlds occupied tiered seating. At the center, a raised dais held 7 ornate chairs for the High Counselors. High Chancellor Drovik, massive being with scaled skin and multiple eye stalks, presided. This assembly will address the unauthorized neural bonding between Commander Tavik of Solaris and Dr. Nora Everett of Earth. Venix presented her case first, painting their connection as a dangerous anomaly that threatened established protocols. Humans are a level 3 species, neurologically incompatible with higher civilizations. This incident represents either a mutation or deliberate technological enhancement. Neither, Tavik interjected. We have documented evidence of natural resonance. Despite Venix's objections, Tavik was permitted to present their neural mapping data. Gasps echoed through the chamber as the harmonized patterns, displayed on massive holographic screens, is impossible, one counselor murmured, or deliberately concealed countered. Another Nora stepped forward. I'm not a diplomat or scientist by your standards, but I know what I experienced. My touch revived Commander Tavik. When your medical science said it couldn't happen, Dravik's eye stalk swiveled toward her. You claim all humans possess this capability? I don't know, Nora admitted. But shouldn't you be investigating that question, rather than hiding the possibility? A murmur of agreement rippled through the progressive counselors. Suddenly, Vinix produced a weapon. This human represents a direct threat to galactic stability. Guards moved to intercept her, but Tavik was faster. Throwing himself between Nora and Vinix, the weapon discharged. Striking him squarely in the chest, Tavik collapsed into Nora's arms, his bioluminescence flickering weakly. No, she cried, cradling him as Council security restrained Vent, acting on instinct and desperation. Nora pressed her hands to Tavik's chest, just as she had during their first meeting in the Arctic snow. The chamber fell silent as blue light erupted between them, spreading in waves across Tavik's body. His eyes flew open, golden irises bright with life and recognition. You did it again, he whispered. Impossible, Dravik stammered. No level 3 species could counter a neural disruptor. Nora helped Tavik stand, their hands still connected, the resonance between them visible to all. Perhaps it's time to reconsider your classification system. Evolutionary Echo. 1 year after the Grand Chamber incident, the Galactic Council convened a historic session. Representatives from Earth attended for the first time: diplomats, scientists, and Dr. Nora Everett. Now serving as humanity's chief xenobiological liaison, the council chambers had been redesigned. The hierarchical tiers replaced with a circular arrangement that symbolized the new equality among species. High Chancellor Dravik had resigned following the scandal, replaced by Councillor Javi, a progressive who championed transparent relations between civilizations. Today marks the official reclassification of humanity as a level 5 species, Councillor Javi announced. The human bioelectric capability, which we now term the Everett effect, represents an evolutionary path previously unknown to Council science. Nora squeezed Tavik's hand beneath the table. After his recovery, he had been appointed special envoy to Earth, establishing the first permanent Solarian diplomatic presence on their planet. Implications extend beyond classification, continued Javi. Preliminary studies show that approximately 60% of humans possess some degree of neural resonance capability, with 10% demonstrating advanced abilities comparable to Dr. Everett's. Former Ambassador Venix's faction had collapsed following revelations that they had suppressed similar discoveries about other species. Venix herself awaited trial for attempted murder and falsification of council records. After the session, Nora and Tavik retreated to their private quarters aboard the council station. Their living space blended human and Solarian aesthetics warm, earth tones alongside bioluminescent Solarian art that responded to their presence. 1 year ago, I was performing emergency medicine in a snowstorm, Nora mused, watching stars through their viewport. Now I'm helping integrate human medical techniques with Solarian healing practices. Tavik embraced her from behind, his chest warm against her back. Where their skin touched, the now familiar blue light pulsed gently. The Resonance Research Center on Mars is already producing remarkable results. Combined human Solarian techniques have cured conditions previously thought untreatable. And to think Venix was willing to kill to prevent this, Nora said. Fear of change is a powerful motivator, Tavik replied. But not as powerful as this, turned her in his arms. Their foreheads touching, neural patterns synchronizing as they had. Countless times since that first fateful connection in the Arctic, their bond had deepened beyond anything either species had documented. Thoughts and emotions flowing between them with increasing clarity. The intimate neural connection made their physical relationship uniquely profound, each touch amplified by shared sensation. The Council wants us to tour the outer colonies next month, Nora said. Show them what human-Solarian cooperation looks like in practice. I've been meaning to ask you about that, Tavik said, suddenly serious. Solarian bonding traditions are different from human ones. But ... from a pocket dimension in his ceremonial robe. He produced a small object that shimmered with embedded bioluminescence, a ring crafted from materials of both their worlds. On your world and mine, he said softly, symbols matter. This represents what we've created together, not just between us, but between our peoples. Nora's eyes shimmered with tears as he slipped the ring onto her finger. The embedded bioluminescence responded immediately to her touch, glowing with the same intensity as their neural connection. The Council says we're the first of many, she whispered. That humanity and Solarians are uniquely compatible. The first of many, Tavik agreed, but always unique. Their kiss sealed more than a personal bond, it symbolized the beginning of a new era for both their species. As their resonance filled the room with soft blue light, Nora reflected that sometimes the most profound diplomatic breakthroughs began with the simplest human instinct to reach out and save a life. Regardless of the differences between them,